What if I told you there's a secret doorway inside every older woman's heart? One that 99% of men walk right past without even knowing it exists. They think flowers, compliments, and expensive dates are enough to win her over, but she's not impressed. She's lived too much, felt too deeply, and loved too fiercely to be moved by surface tricks. What she truly craves is rare, something only a different kind of man can give, not lust, not attention, but a powerful emotion that awakens the forgotten woman buried beneath years of responsibility and broken expectations. If you become this kind of man, she will never forget you even if she tries. Hit that like button, subscribe, turn on your notification bell, and comment below. I seek depth, not illusions, because today I'm about to reveal what separates the men she remembers from all the rest she silently leaves behind forever. What if most men never realize the simple truth that an older woman doesn't fall for the words you speak? She falls for the energy you carry. They smile politely at her, call her beautiful, adore her politely, and yet somewhere deep inside, she remains untouched. They believe being charming, funny, attentive is enough. They believe as long as they show interest, she'll magically open up. But there is something missing in most of these men. Something she is looking for without ever saying it aloud. Something she waits for but rarely finds. The rare man who understands what truly touches her, and it is not how a man's hand brushes against her skin, but how his presence brushes against her soul. Because she doesn't want to be impressed. She wants to be seen. She may not say it out loud. She may laugh, nod, even lean in close to listen. But inside, she's measuring, evaluating, waiting to see if you are like the rest. Or the one who steps beyond the surface and reaches where few dare to go. She is not after perfection. She does not crave drama. She wants something powerful, something subtle, something almost unseen. A man whose calm confidence makes her feel like she's no longer drifting alone. A man whose steady voice makes her stop overthinking. A man whose simple gaze awakens feelings she thought were long forgotten. Because in truth, the secret lies not in what men do, but in how they are. A woman who has lived carries layers. Years of being strong, years of protecting her heart, years of silence. She has learned to survive without depending on anyone. She's learned to smile even when no one understands. So when a man tries to chase her with the same old tricks, compliments, grand gestures, constant validation, she smiles, but feels nothing, because these things are easy to give. But what is hard to give is your true presence. And that is what she craves but rarely asks for. Attention is cheap. Real presence is priceless. When a man makes her feel like he didn't just choose her out of convenience, but out of deep recognition. Something inside her responds. Suddenly she doesn't just feel like she feels chosen, and this awakens respect, admiration, even longing. She doesn't want to be just wanted. She wants to feel that among the many, she is the only one you see. When you make her feel like she stands out, not because she's perfect, not because she's young, not because she's flawless, but because you see something in her that others don't, her guard begins to fall. You didn't pick her because you were lonely or desperate. You picked her because you noticed something only a rare man would notice. And that simple shift makes her heart anchor itself into yours without her even trying. She realizes your attention carries weight. You don't toss it around easily. You place it with intention. And this alone makes her respect you, because you are not a man who needs. You are a man who chooses. And yet this is only the beginning, because what truly makes her heart stir again is something even deeper. Beyond being chosen, she wants to feel alive again. Life has a way of weighing down even the most spirited woman. Expectations, responsibilities, disappointments. They slowly steal her spark. She becomes serious, careful, too guarded to let her laughter ring freely like it once did. and then you appear, not with a grand plan, not with a script to impress. You appear with a lightness in your eyes, a calm in your voice, a playful remark that makes her forget herself for a moment. Suddenly, without realizing it, she's laughing like she hasn't laughed in years. The clock disappears. Her heavy world feels lighter. She feels young again, not because you reminded her of her age, but because you reminded her how it feels to be alive. And that feeling is what brings her back to you over and over. You don't drag her into seriousness. You don't burden her with your anxieties. You bring presence. You bring calm. You bring the gift of a moment where everything feels effortlessly natural. And that is rare. She realizes she doesn't have to pretend to be strong around you. She doesn't have to perform. She can just be. And that freedom is intoxicating. It invites her deeper into herself and deeper into you. Now comes the part most men will never understand. True attraction is not forced. It emerges, not from constant talking, but from silent tension. Not from persuading, but from allowing. When you enter a room without trying to impress, when you speak less but mean every word, when your silence makes her lean in because she wants to hear your next breath, that is when she feels the irresistible pull. She doesn't know why. She can't explain it. But she thinks about you, wonders about you, and even tests you. Not because she wants to play games, but because she wants to feel something real. She wants to see if you're truly composed, or if you crumble beneath pressure like every other man. And when you remain calm, unshaken, unbothered, she feels respect and desire. She doesn't want a man who begs for her time. She wants a man whose presence demands it without asking. She feels desired, not just admired. Admiration makes her feel safe. Desire makes her feel awakened. Polite admiration is easy. It makes her feel like a good person, but desire makes her feel like a woman, alive, magnetic, powerful. A man who isn't afraid of his own attraction doesn't need to say much. His eyes say it, his voice says it, his pauses say it, and yet he never crosses the line. His restraint becomes its own form of seduction. She feels the heat beneath his control. She senses the storm he keeps calm beneath that stoic demeanor. And it stirs something deep inside her that polite boys never reach. Suddenly, she feels like she wants to break her own rules, because he makes her feel something she thought she had lost forever. She feels dangerously feminine, soft but powerful, gentle but unstoppable. Every woman secretly wants to be pulled out of her performance. She wants a man who can handle the wildness she hides, the part of her that wants to dance in the dark, whisper bold truths, laugh until it hurts, not because he asks her to be reckless, but because he gives her permission to feel. He creates a space where she can let go without losing herself. He is stable enough that she feels safe, but unpredictable enough that she feels excited. This is the delicate storm she craves but never admits. And when she finds it, she remembers him forever, because he didn't just flirt with her, he awakened her. A night spent with such a man is not remembered for its fancy restaurant or its expensive champagne. It is remembered because she lost track of time, because she forgot she was supposed to be careful, because for a few hours she felt fully present, fully alive, fully herself. She noticed the way he looked at her when she wasn't trying to be beautiful. She felt the way his touch lingered for a second longer than expected. She sensed his calm, his ease, his authenticity, and she let her guard fall, just enough for a memory to be born, and that memory stays with her long after the night ends. She thinks about it in quiet moments. She wonders why that one night felt different. It's not because he tried harder. It's because he was real. Through all of this, the rarest gift a man can give her is not excitement, But freedom to become a new version of herself, freedom to write a new story, because every woman carries unfinished chapters, dreams she never pursued, passions she buried, and when a man looks at her without judgment, without forcing her into a box, she begins to unfold. She speaks of things she's never said out loud, she tries things she used to fear, she becomes lighter, freer, more daring, not because he pushed her, but because he made her feel like she finally had permission to choose. She realizes her past does not have to define her, her roles do not have to confine her, and this realization becomes the most addictive feeling in the world. She might test him, she might challenge him. She wants to know if her power still works. Does she still have that spark? Can she still affect him? She leans a little closer, lowers her voice, watches his reaction. Most men either crumble into eagerness or push back awkwardly. But the Stoic man stays still, calm, present. He lets her feel her power without being overwhelmed by it. And this balance drives her wild, because now she feels not only feminine but also powerful. She sees herself reflected through his composure. And that reflection makes her crave him more. She doesn't just desire him, she respects him, because he is unaffected by the games but still fully engaged in the dance. And that is the essence of irresistible, unforgettable attraction. You started this journey thinking it was all about physical touch, but now you understand the real secret is emotional, psychological, spiritual touch. Older women crave depth, presence, freedom, authenticity, tension, laughter, mystery, desire, awakening, love, and stoic calm. They are not looking for boys who chase. They are searching for men who understand. If you are ready to evolve into that man, understand this. You will never need to chase her heart. You only need to awaken it. You came here looking for where to touch her body, but what you've now discovered is so much more powerful: how to touch her soul. The men she forgets chased her body, the man she remembers forever. Reach the parts no one else saw, become him. Stay calm, stay steady, stay unshakable. Like this video, subscribe, comment below I am unshakable. Keep refining yourself, because when you truly understand her, she will come to you.